Welcome back to another week episode of Part of My Opinion. I'm your host, the Black Box Saget. You know, we got the producer P in the building, making his way over the bridge. It ain't even a long drive, but we known this man since 2002 once he braced New York streets. Bad Boys own, Philly's own.
Yes, sir.
It's E Ness in the building.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, Ness?
Shout out to Part of My Opinion podcast, my man, the Black Bob Saget P, the whole staff. Did a mini photo shoot before we start recording. That was love. Definitely was needed some new headshots, some new body shots and all that. Pause. And yeah, I'm just happy to be a guest on a show, man.
Always. Before we start, we always got to shout out to Studio B. Studio B is
Studio
where it's at.
B.
Kamal Pictures, Kamal Cuts. You get what I'm saying? You got to get with the guys. We're going to drop
in the fucking building. You already
listen,
know.
He's humbly. And I know so many photographers when I say this and they going to flame me later. But humbly, he might be the best out there.
He got dope service.
He might be the best out there. And I know a lot of photographers. Some of them even got the same bloodline as me. They going to flame me once this drop. But he might be the best out there, man. But let's get into it.
Yes, sir.
E Ness, June 3rd.
June 3rd is going down the Trenches card. Shout out to Easy, shout out to Chrome 23, Remy. Whoever back in the play is another home game. It's against a Brooklyn guy. Dot been going for a minute. He took a shot at me on the previous Gates of the Garden card, and I was in a building, fortunately, and karma's a bitch. I get to get my lick back. Pause on June 3rd. So it was like definite, immediate response. The nigga took a shot and the card was booked. Initially I wasn't on a card, but a couple niggas backed out and it made sense to add me to the card. So whether I'm a card filler, headliner,
you there,
semi-headliner, I'm on a card.
You there for sure. You there.
Yeah.
And up against the reach guy, like you
the
said,
reach guy.
Dot been away for a while. He come back.
Yeah, Dot been away for a while, but I think he figured some things out. He definitely punching a little bit way more. He definitely focused a little bit more. I could say this from watching him previously, he definitely make a little bit more sense than he was making. Because sometimes I didn't know where Dot was going to fuck with him. Hence his name, the Reach Guy.
The Reach Guy. Yeah, he reached for it. Last week when I dropped the episode, I did the review for the card.
Right.
And when I came up to you guys, I said you guys potentially can have the battle of the night.
You definitely said that, yeah.
So for me, it was when you look at it from the entertainment aspect of it, like
we definitely two battle rappers big on entertainment. I can say that. So it's definitely a preference battle. Styles make fights, and it's going to be really, really, really exciting to see this one.
So for me, like for y'all, I say it's 5 battles on the card. I need to see y'all either second or third, like to bring the energy out. Y'all definitely got to come before Easy and Reed battle. It has to be y'all because
I absolutely have to be. I most definitely have to be either first or second. I have a previous engagement.
Okay.
So I got to be out of the building at a certain time. So I'm definitely aiming.
So you need to open it.
I'm definitely aiming for the opener or once that opening act, I ain't going to say opening act because, most likely it's going to be K Walker versus Riggs. But hopefully K Walker and Riggs get the energy, like building in the energy, then just alley-oop it for me and Dot to come in and, put on a classic.
Definitely. So, like I said, for me, I already say, like, I got that into being the most exciting battle, if not battle of the night right there, just off the things that
I don't know, it's all if Dot show up. Sometimes Dot take his foot off the gas and he slack off the pen.
So I talked to him, I talked to him and he seemed very focused. Like even still to where it was like he was going to jump on and stuff, but he still wanted to work on his craft. The way that he talking right now, and he got some shit for you.
Yeah, everybody say that, man.
Okay, listen.
Everybody
he got some shit for you.
Mac Myron was supposed to have some shit for me. Cortez was supposed to have some
You surprised me a lot. I'm not going to lie. You surprised me a lot. Like the thing was, and it'll lead me into my next
Got it.
part to where it's like
Yeah.
when I watch you, right? I think a lot of times when people see the name E Ness, they always associate you with the DNA
Cheese kid.
battle.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, not even. I'm not even worrying about the
Okay.
making a band, but
Yeah, the
just in the
DNA
battle
battle
rap.
was a big outing for me. It was a bad outing for me, but I learned a lot from it. And instead of just having my story end like that on a DNA note, I just didn't want that to be the end of my story. So I started back in the small rooms, building my momentum, building my confidence back up into where now it makes sense to add me to these big cards. I just was on a King Bao John. I mean, I was supposed to battle Kitchen Clean for whatever reasons he couldn't make it, but I'm starting to get those looks now. For whatever reason, it's not going down, whatever. But they starting to respect the name a little bit more.
So it was crazy because I seen your interview and you talked on, just how you are. And I can say, like the time that you said you was going to be here, you legit text me a minute before, like I'm outside.
Right.
So you go from, when you book me, I'm professional. I'm showing up.
Right.
I'm not coming dirty. I'm coming prepared. I'm coming on time. Like I'm coming with this.
Right.
And it goes to a lot of, when you look at everybody in battle rap right now, and you reach points to where a lot of people didn't, and you still willing to take the routes that most people don't want to. A lot of people want to skip those routes.
They do. But I learned that you can't skip the steps because it's going to be at a point in time you have to do them anyway. So why just not get it out the way? It's like you know what I'm saying, having an open case or you fighting your case from inside because you're not sentenced, you don't know. So I'd rather know and start doing my time. So I'd rather just do all the steps now, the mixtapes, the freestyles, all the platforms. And so when you look back like, well, what did he do? Everything.
Right.
Everything. You know what I'm saying? What did he do? How he get there? How he blowing? Not me. I did everything. You know what I'm saying? I did everything. I freestyle, I battle. I dropped projects. I dropped mixtapes. I was on platforms. High notarized platforms, all the way down to the mid, all the way down to the smallest platforms, and I just don't want to leave one stone unturned.
Absolutely,
and that's just my whole strategy.
Absolutely. For us, and I'll let producer P get into it next. But for us, a lot of times when in reality, when people ask us like, "How do you pick your guests?" And I tell people, we shoot for the stars.
Facts.
And whenever those people answer us back and is willing to do things to help us out, we lay the red carpet out for them.
Definitely.
The studio makes sure that we got the guidance, that you get the photos. We was just laughing now to where, easy photo that we use, the one back here,
that's fire.
that shit get flown around in every battle rap blog right now. You get what I'm saying? Like, that shit is used in every one. So we try to make sure for those who look us out, we make sure they taken care of when, they come here and everything. And that's all it's about is the grind. And that's why a lot of times these interviews do so much for us because we can sit here and the path that we taking now is the path that you already took and still currently on right now. And that's what makes the interview so much better for us.
I came a long way, and had a lot of bumps in the road, a lot of false starts, a lot of disappointments. But at the end of the day, like I said, I didn't want that to be the end of my story. The Ness just gave up and just tapped out. Like, I'd rather just fight it tooth and nail to the last day. I don't give a fuck if I'm 75 years old. I'm still gonna be freestyling, ciphering, battle rapping, whatever. Because I feel as though if you're an MC as an artist, especially a rapper, is a writing thing. And people just limit themselves and box themselves into a certain title, battle rapper, or battle rappers can't make songs, or people that make songs can't battle rap. So I feel as though if you're a writer, you could cover all these areas and be able to do all those things. You just gotta be willing to do it and not be scared and not put them limitations on yourself. Like, no, I don't do that because I can't have people spitting in my face, talking and shit about me. But people do it all day about you every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather go get paid some bands for somebody to say some shit to me and I get to return and say some shit back right there on the spot. So, people, I don't know how you do it, Ness. But like, I don't know what my last day is. So I got to live it up. overextend my hand to the people that, you know what I mean, is working towards the same goals as I am, and I gotta stop being around people that's not working towards what I'm working to. All that hanging around in the hood is cool, but like I said, if you be around, if you were 9 millionaires, you're gonna be the 10th one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like I just let go of all that negative energy. I trimmed my circle, got rid of that extra dead weight, and things start going up for me.
Cut your losses. Yeah, you can see that you humble and ground, like, and you the most relevant out of all your bandmates, if
Right.
you will. Like,
I just talked to Fred earlier today, and I'm working on a project right now. I got E Ness and Friends out right now. The first single being Benny the Butcher, and then the second single being Blicky featuring DJ Crazy. So it's like the best of both worlds with the new energy, with the dance wave and Jersey and Philly and all the club scene, and with Jabril and Too Rare and D Sturdy and that whole movement. And I'm also staying true to my hip hop roots. I got Benny on there. I got Method Man, Beanie Siegel, Vado, Corey Gunn. So it's like a melting pop of all these sounds right now. You know what I mean? You got the Griselda shit working right now. You got retro hip hop working right now. And you got the dance genre really working right now. So I'm a master of all those things. And I just, my last collective effort project is just an example of all those styles that I have mastered over all my years. You know what I mean? And that led into the mixtape. Let Me Borrow This Beat, hosted by DJ Alamo. And just keep dropping these projects, keep dropping these singles, because the way social media has made it is an even playing field. You really don't need no label behind you. You can sit in your room, make the beat, get a camera, record yourself, upload all your shit.
Especially if you got a name
whatever.
already.
right.
Especially if you got a name already, it makes it
I
easier.
I really champion these artists that stay independent as long as they can, and because you'll receive 100% of the reward when it starts to turn over for you.
That's it. And I think in your journey, right, the one thing that I noticed from there is the fact you was able to, because when you first like switched your style up to
Right.
like add, let's say after the DNA battle, once
Right.
you came, who was your next battle after that one?
Shit. Iron Solomon. Then it was Arsenal. Then it was DNA. I had some low level guys.
Yeah,
I think my first.
but I think the low level. So going back to where you had to go back and say, yo, you know what? Like
Because I
let's
started doing my Crack Liberty run, and I started battling guys like Rosenberg Raw, Shotgun Suge, Marv One, Cortez.
you
Blue
took
Easy.
the animation of rapping to where you rap and you go and you perform while you rapping,
Well, I come
and you
from
made
the
it.
early. I come from the golden era of hip hop, the days of Run DMC, Onyx, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, and the DJ was like the most pivotal part of the hip hop performance. It was the DJ first, and then it was the MC. And over the years, just the spotlight has transcended. So I always stayed close to the DJ because I knew the DJ gave me the opportunity to put me on the mic, so I can get a chance to showcase my talent. So just everything that I've learned, even from like the continuous freestyles on Instagram. When I was under the Bad Boy training camp, they would make us write 5 verses for every verse. So we had to write 5 verses for the first verse, 5 verses for the second verse, and 5 verses for the third verse. Then they would pick the best verse out of each one to fill in those slots for the verses. So at the end of the day, after one song, I'm left with 12 extra fucking 16s.
Wow.
So I condition myself to write at a high level, and even up until this point, there's a lot of time I took off. I was dominant for 10 years. I just sat back and became a consumer because everybody was telling me that my window had closed and I had missed my opportunity and it didn't work. And you know how Philly, you know how the East Coast get when you're supposed to go to a certain plateau, you don't reach that plateau in the time that the people would like for you to. So now I had to take it back to scratch, and battle rap was a strategy for me to get back in those small rooms. It's like almost free promotion to get back in there in front of the new generation and reintroduce myself.
Because you go to it, like I said, 2002, Making a Band comes out.
Yeah, that's almost it's literally
21 years.
old.
Yeah.
And almost the predecessor to all of what's going on now with Love and
Facts.
Hip Hop
Love and
everything
Hip Hop, the Baddie Show, the fighting. We started the fighting shit. subconsciously we didn't know what we was doing, but that became almost the reality TV format.
It makes it entertainment because
so
when you
it's
talk
like-
about it, what do you talk about?
We was guinea pigs, and I'm not going to get up here and
You
pass the
talk
show
about the three
because it
most
opened up
pop-
marvelous experiences for me as far as
Absolutely.
lighting go and camera work and just angling and all that. So I learned a lot of stuff being behind the scenes, being on that show and seeing how the production to shows of that stature.
That's where you
It
go to where
operates,
you go to
yeah.
where I tell you when you was in the photo shoot. To where I say for y'all, like you could tell like how you already like y'all used to this.
Right,
Because
right.
you go in every shot you changing. You know, with us, he gotta tell us change up,
Right,
change
right,
up,
right,
change up.
right, right,
First
yeah.
time he said it, we like the fuck you talking about. He like give us a different pose, because we still like
Because
we
subconsciously you
we
Yeah,
got two
yeah,
poses.
yeah,
we put
two
our hand
poses,
right
yeah.
here. Then you get what I'm saying, whatever. So you just don't know. So you change up. So when
There's
y'all
a lot
come
of
in
things
here,
you learn, man. A lot of
yeah.
things you learn, you pick up on a lot of things that take some time for you to unlearn.
And that's good for you. Like instead of being bitter like everyone else, you
Yeah.
took everything as a lesson and
I
learned
did.
from it. Like
Well, you know, people gave me a hard way to go in the way I look, the way I dress. You know what I mean? My content matter when I rap. A lot of people say I didn't talk about dope boy shit a lot. You know what I'm saying? People, I always like to focus on the fun side of hip hop, the enjoyment of yourself. So when you hear me rap, it's basically that's the main content. That's the main subject matter. Never really heard me get too street or too
personal.
too wreck chasing, too dope boyish. I always tried to touch certain things in my life, but not stay in one specific thing for too long.
as a working man, there's a line to this day I still use when niggas get mad at work. Don't blame me, blame your
My man.
manager. Bro, that shit
Yeah.
till
So
till
I
this
was a
day.
part of the working class too. So all my experiences I use within my raps. Yeah, had to work at fucking U-Haul assembly line. I worked in Burger King, fucking Boston Market. I worked at Allegheny University on a dietary line, making the little trays for the motherfuckers up and sitting the motherfucking patients and shit. So I was in the working class before I actually became a rapper. Then around like my late teenage years, that's when I really started and got into the streets and started getting in trouble and started having legal issues. But I was always like, kind of like conditioned to be an academic scholar. Like I went to Central High School. Me, Cassidy, DJ Drama, we was all in like different classes. Like I was in 254. I think Cassidy was in 255, and DJ Drama was in 256. Or it was the other way around. But
Now that shit like Jersey
it was like
school.
my underclassmen,
I was
Cassidy and
gonna
DJ
say,
Drama.
that shit like Jersey school. You know,
Yeah.
the higher the number go, the slower
Yeah.
you was. Because like when I was in six. You know, my peoples was in 6101. They was the smart kids. I was in
Oh,
6102.
okay. Yeah,
We
yeah.
was the semi smart. But once you got to like 105, 106, they was the dumb kids and shit.
Oh,
So that's
shit.
how I was in Philly.
Well,
Yeah.
I would say like this. It wasn't particularly that, but I noticed when I went to a school for academics, my grade point average was, even though it was high, it still didn't come close to the Asians or
Got you.
the Native Americans.
Yeah.
They ranked higher. I mean, they was getting all A1s, and when you get all A1s all semester, every semester, you rank higher, so you graduate. So you could be summa cum laude and graduate 110th in your class, because there's like 50 Asians that scored higher. They got 100 A plus on every test.
Yeah.
Never said a word, never got in trouble, and they rank higher in your. So you could be smart and still be the dumbest one in your school. So when I got to Central, I found out like it was motherfuckers out here way smarter than I was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
There's always somebody
Yeah,
smarter than you.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
but that helped me with my vocabulary, and I always took a liking to English and reading and writing, and I was always a fan of Greek mythology. So that was my two main favorite courses in going through school, and that just transcended into having a passion of reading and writing and picking up on certain words and using them in my vocabulary, even to the point of going and finding words in the dictionary and know what they actually meant. And then that helped me further in my career, because once I came into the bad boy system of doing things, you know, Puff would come into the room and be like, "Did you write on those beats that I gave you?" I'd be like, "Yeah, but I don't like tracks 2, 4, and 8." He like, "See, that's your problem. I'm gonna make you stronger than you ever was." it's not about writing to the stuff that you like. It's about writing to the stuff that you don't like. So about time you get to the stuff that you actually do like, that shit is like a fucking layup.
Yeah, then following that roster where you got Big, Craig Mack, the Locks, where their vocabulary is like.
So there's a lot of things that I learned from being under that system that it has helped me build this tough skin to today to be able to do it at a high level. Because you know what I mean, financial issues and all of the backlash we took from being on the show all them years ago, and then they had the next installment, which was Danity Kane. Then they had the next installment, Day 26. So it's almost like we almost got swept under the rug. Yeah. And people almost talked about the negative things, the cheesecake, the fights, the being dismantled. Right. They never talked about Dave Chappelle's show, being on Soul Train, being on The View with Barbara Walters, being on the last Source Awards that aired. Like, we did like monumental shit. We went gold. That was a fucking group that was put together out of nowhere from all different walks of life. Nobody knew what we would sound like together. Right. And we actually went on to sell over 500,000 units.
Y'all did
motherfuckers was still going to Tower Records and buying the actual physical copies.
Y'all was pretty successful to be thrown together.
Yeah, we had a big impact.
Is it possible y'all could tour, do a show, do a reunion?
I regret the years that we couldn't figure it out because we left a lot of money on the table. Because these groups still tour. Even the second installment of Bigger Than Band, which is Danity Kane, even though they don't have the original members, all of them, they still tour.
Yeah.
And slow money is better than no money. So, I mean, in a perfect world, I wish we could sit down and all figure it out and let the egos go and try to come to some type of agreement. We can do some shows, some spot dates, and just see how it goes. And if it goes well and everybody's in agreement and everybody feel comfortable, then we can continue. But we just having the same recurring problems that we had on the show, the egos, and people wanted to distance themselves from the whole experience. But in my eyes, that's the way we came in. That's always going to be our background story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I have learned to embrace it instead of trying to separate myself from it. That's why I'm selling my cheesecakes. That's why my pre-rebuttals be in my battles be talking about the fight or walking for cheesecake, because I'm trying to strip you of that same power you trying to use against me.
Yeah. You know it's coming. That's why for us, I think the easy and hardest thing was to have a conversation. That's why when we opened and I was going to something, your mind was already thinking I was going to walking for a cheesecake. And I'm like, nah.
I'm definitely going to avoid that. Everybody know that.
I'm not touching that. You know, every preparation into everything, that's everything everybody want to talk about.
See, you ain't weird. You got some weird niggas out here.
Yeah.
People just like to lean on that just to get a reaction out of you, just to see you say something, to get into it with you, because they just wanted to, you know what I mean, push a button. But, you know what I mean, you got to be able to be balanced for the weird niggas and for niggas that's thorough. You know what I'm saying? That's just weird. That's just where it comes down.
I remember being a kid. You get what I'm saying? When Making the Band came out, I was a kid. I was in the 5th grade. Like,
facts.
We used to watch the shit every fucking week.
No, I had a religious cult following. People would run inside and watch it, and you know, just the energy that I think it was the public hazing that didn't sit right with the hip hop culture at the time. The culture was real street orientated, and it was kind of like no backing down. X, the Locks, this one and that one is out, and it was like the guys in the forefront was alpha males.
Right.
So hip hop's kind of seen us in a way as being sunned or being developed right in front of their eyes, and they didn't know that this what goes on behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, absolutely.
So when people got to actually see it, it didn't resonate with the crowd. But all in all, we still managed to sell over 500,000 units. Probably would have did 1 million for the walking for cheesecake and the fights that kind of pegged this as, you know, the bad news bears of the industry, you know, the problem child, you know what I mean? Just the headache. So if not for that, I think we would have well on to do probably like over 1 million units sold and had a successful sophomore or project. But
man, 1 million people auditioned for that opportunity, and it got narrowed down to 6.
Yep. And
you remain relevant to this day by not being bitter and continuing to do whatever you got to do. Like to say you rubbing elbows with Benny the Butcher and staying active on battle rap cards, like you're making your niche for yourself, whether that's your lane or not.
Yeah, I was devastated when the whole thing ended as far as like professionally with the Bad Boy, but everybody is a misconception that I got dropped or me and Puff's relationship was damaged or was injured in some way. It just was the nature of the business. After we were signed initially as the group to Universal, Bad Boy. Then when they lost the distribution, or when Bad Boy and Universal parted ways, then Puff didn't have no distribution. So from the time that we got signed in 2002 to when we put out the project, September of 2003, up until 2006, he didn't have no distribution. So I was kind of like on a probationary period with him, just recording, taking music back up there, letting them hear it. But we had it wasn't no guarantee that we would get another deal. But luckily with the making the band, just like the American Idol, it's like clauses in the contract where Bad Boy get the exercise first option to sign it solely. So I was one of the ones that, was asked selected to stay on a probationary period. And once the probationary period was over, and then I made the music that kind of like, would give me a nice little firm grip on actually having a budding career on Bad Boy. Puff made the phone calls happen, and I had my solo effort on Warner Atlantic Music Group. It was a merger between Warner and Atlantic. And he kept his promise to give me my solo effort in 2006.
Would you consider reality TV again? Like, like the real
Absolutely,
world?
The wonders of reality TV for you, it almost like, it kind of immortalizes you overnight. It takes a nobody to a somebody, and it can turn a somebody into a nobody, depending how they do.
They got Jocelyn on the Drake Checks this week.
So yeah, I would do it again. I would have to be in direct creative control of what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what's the shit they got out now that they changed the whole College Hill?
Yeah, College Hill. All them shows was Lil Baby making the bands. College Hill, Fatty Coo, all them joints was like Lil Welfare making the bands.
For sure.
From off the sexes, the people didn't know what our show was going to do. Yeah, you had the Old Town before us, but nobody had did a hip hop urban making the band. So we broke a lot of barriers. When me and Fred fought, we beat out the Osbournes, which was the highest ranking show on MTV at the time. So we showed the power of an all-black urban cast on a reality TV series.
That's dope.
Yeah, so things didn't go out like we didn't have the storybook ending like the way I wanted it on Bad Boy, but I learned a lot of things.
Your story ain't over.
No, it definitely ain't over.
It ain't
but
over.
As far as people are concerned, our age group,
That
they
chapter,
wanted to see.
that chapter.
They wanted to see me. Ride off into the sunset in the Bentley with Puff.
See, but it's like watching a Marvel movie. You gotta stay for the. You gotta stay for the credits. You get what I'm saying? You gotta stay because you miss it, you gonna lose a lot of it, and then you gotta follow everything that's dropped because it's all. You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
It all
So my thing is being from Philly, being in the tri-state area, Jersey, Delaware, New York, Philly. It's just like my case is a thing where people just don't know when to shut the fuck up. People will kick you when you down to the point where now I'm back in a fight. Motherfuckers just had too much to say. And I got tired of hearing them. I'm like, I'm going to show you motherfuckers. And one rap at a time, one freestyle at a time, I start turning how they thought about me over. And then they start leading to other things and start opening up other doors. But I didn't wait on anything. I just start rapping. I just took it back to square one. I said, fuck it. I'm not waiting for the bag. I'm not waiting for a manager. I'm not waiting for a DJ, a producer, a studio. I'm going to take it right here and see where it takes me.
Absolutely.
And it's working for most artists now, like Pound Town or Ice.
Yeah, I encourage everybody, man. You can't be a rapper and don't be rapping. Yeah. It's just not going to happen. You can't occasionally rap. And I took off 10 years watching everybody win and celebrate and be successful and buy shit and put other artists on. Like, think about it. Lil Durk got on, kind of fell off, and then got back on and made Vaughn pop, and Vaughn is no longer with us in that same timeline. So it's the sky's the limit. Yeah. Niggas is bullshit. Yeah. Niggas is bullshit. And this motherfucking thing right in your hand is $1 million. If you don't use it, please don't run up on me with your material, your mixtapes, your merch, because I should already see it. Right. I should already see it. You shouldn't have to present it to me because we all have a phone, and it should be getting clicks. It should be having some type of motion on this phone where some type of documentation of you doing exactly what you say you represent.
Absolutely.
Can't argue with that one.
Real shit. So I don't want to hear all the sad stories. I'm waiting for the nigga with the bag. They won't play my joint at the radio. They won't let me on the platforms. They won't let me on the yada yada. Nigga, rap. You rap. People, it's no more blackballing. It's no more nothing. People gonna like what they like. You get on your phone, you rap. You rap until either they tell you they not fucking with it or they fucking with it. That is your fucking gong show right there, your phone. They're gonna let you know right exactly where you at with it. And I knew, and it was a strategy. I said, fuck the negative comments. Let's just keep doing it. It's just like having a block with some okay work on it. You know what I mean? Yeah, the niggas up the street got the A1 shit, but they don't have it continuously every day. So when they don't have it and when they ran out, I'm down here with the shit that you say is all right. And then over time, I'm gonna beat my competition because I'm more consistent and I'm more dependent.
Yeah. So what made you go to like take the freestyles to social media? Like
It's something that we've seen before. I seen Bugsy do it. We seen Cardi do it. We've seen a lot of artists do it. I just waited in the perfect timing to the pandemic. We was all trapped in the crib. So other niggas stopped doing it, and then I started. And then while niggas was in the crib, I built the core following to people almost think I'm a new artist. Right. You see what I'm saying? And that was all during the pandemic. Some people found tragedy in the pandemic. Some people found triumph. I found both. I turned my tragedy into triumph.
What I like about you, though, is you don't hold on to 2002 to 2006.
I can't.
You don't hold on to the bad boy. You don't use that as, I'm the big homie. You get what I'm saying? Like, you come in here like, listen, all right, y'all, what we doing? I'm with y'all. Like, I'm in the field with y'all.
Facts.
Nah, I'm not going first or I'm not going last. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to be in the mix with y'all. Like, I think when you come in, you humbly come into the game. And I think that's where you respect. At least that's how I learned to respect.
No, that's true,
you.
but it's a certain point where the humble shit got to cut off. You got to be aggressive. You got to be assertive. And that's what I learned in the past 2 years during the pandemic. Yeah, I'm humble, but sometimes you got to turn it up. You got to crack that whip on certain individuals or certain energies in your life to make sure this shit run like a well-oiled machine. You can't be too passive on everything because you become too passive. Then the shit starts sliding, then that's a slippery slope. You don't want that to happen. Then the shit is going to implode, and then you all fucked up because you didn't approach the issue, or you didn't, you know what I'm saying? You didn't resolve the issue head on. So at times, I'm very humble, but at times I'm also assertive and also aggressive, and you have to have that balance out here because it's not a pretty business. It's a cutthroat business, and I do the political thing. I shake hands, I kiss babies, but I also know how to, tighten up on my staff and make sure they doing what they supposed to do.
That's
for sure.
That's definitely. You know one thing else, like when you and Jay Mills battle, right?
For sure.
I kind of wish Jay Mills learned from you and take your approach so he could get better at his craft. Like I think in a sense, like he still carries that young money, with him.
No, he definitely. He definitely has a certain confidence about him that reached a certain level of success, a certain arrogance, a certain overconfidence that we all have and we all share at some times. But me, you gotta understand my plight. My plight, I had the traditional good looks as some of these other artists. So I had to work triple as hard. You know what I'm saying? When niggas is out partying or fucking bitches or talking on the phone with bitches, when we go see bitches, I'm in the crib writing for 3 hours. Because, they could show up with a haircut and a good Caesar and a nice little academic shirt.
You see that, get them what they needed. and you got to pull up with the nice car and a pocket full of money. It wasn't that easy.
20 raps, I remember. Without, you know what I'm saying? Just to get that extra look. So, I wish I could be marketable as these other guys and coast through a little bit and not have to work as much as hard.
To be fair, you was relatively unknown when Jay Mills was
no facts. He
was established.
Yeah, he had established as a battle rap champion. Yeah. Like he had the definite nod on being the A1 predator.
Yeah, and that camp was so big. I'm pretty sure he was pinning niggas shit too.
No facts. That's just a part of the game. Even if you don't say, "Yo, I wrote this for you," we could be all in the room writing or saying some shit. A nigga use some shit. And it's not like he bit, but it's kind of like we all brainstorming, throwing ideas around, and yo, you can use that. I'm saying, and
Yeah,
That's just friendly fire, friendly competition.
He got no. He got that for him. Where you got bad boy this, bad boy that. You got split 6 ways. And like you said, you got to depend on other niggas to tour where he could perform that song for the rest of his life. You got to worry about no attachments.
Yeah, being in the group is very, very frustrating at times, because there's 5 other personalities depending on the extra members of your group. So we have to have 6 people on a chord at all times. That's hard. You can't even get 6 friends to come to a party.
Who you telling?
So social media is kind of
it's 6 of us on this. It's 6 of us. So right now it's 6 of us on this team.
I watch a lot of 50 Cent. I watch a lot of these other guys, and some of the things they do, I process it. And one of the things that 50 Cent says, social media has made it an even playing field where no matter what you do, you could be eating a slice of pizza or you could be in the studio recording. It puts everyone in the room with you right there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So it's like a digital flyer or electronic flyer.
100%.
I could press one button, then how many other followers has followed me, whoever people I got engagement, they get to see that content. So what I've become as a content creator is I'm just using my freestyles as the driving force. Now, going into the future, moving forward, I'm a dip and delve into other things, little acting things I want to get into, little skit comedies and shit like that. But right now, the freestyles are the driving force behind the page. And whenever I don't do as many freestyles or stay consistent, the engagement and all of my impressions start to drop. That's how I know people are really in tune with freestyles right about now. So any rapper, I don't want to hear shit. If you got holes in your shirt, you don't got no job, you don't got no work right now, your big homie ain't fucking with you, it don't matter. Just get on your phone and rap. Let's see where you take it. Give yourself 30 to 90 days. Let's see where it take you. I promise you'll be in a better position than you was when you started that 30 days, that 30 to 90 days. I promise you. I became a freestyle ambassador. I charge people to wear their merch on my freestyles. So you send me a shirt and a hat or a hoodie, I charge you a certain amount. I tag you, I throw it on my freestyles. You might get 50,000, you might get 1 million, depending on, the content of my freestyle and the tags I got on it. It might hit 1 million views, it might hit 500,000, it might hit 400,000, but that's good for a small brand that's coming up that's trying to get their notoriety, trying to get
better
that brand.
Better than the 25 they would have got on their own.
Absolutely.
So you got 2,500 followers. I got 163,000.
Yeah.
And we do the collaboration, and so that's all my followers seeing me in your merch.
Yeah.
And I do that for my shit. So I'm like a merchandise ambassador. I've learned that by watching Gilly and Wallow. Wallow did 20 years. There's no fucking excuses. I don't want to hear shit.
100%.
Nigga did 20 years and is a certified millionaire.
Came back.
And I'm bullshit. We've been out here the whole time.
And he dropped.
Think about it.
And he dropped.
We've been out here that whole dub.
Wake up every morning. Wake up every
and
morning.
He dropped jewels to help you get it, and you gotta catch them.
So
wake up and give you $1 million worth
being
of
bitter
every day.
doesn't work for me. It works from other people. Sometimes that bitterness can fuel people to do some things or figure some shit out. For me, it doesn't fuel me in that way. Fuel me is sharing the information, helping the next person out, because I'm gonna get my blessing.
Yeah,
get my blessing.
Listen, so we gonna end this on one note. He said, if you got a phone, iPhone, Android, whatever, get on it. It's $1 million.
What you waiting for? You don't gotta wait for no big homie. You don't gotta wait for no angel investor, no drug dealer from around the way that fuck with your raps. This your drug dealer. This is your investor right here. You can track all your monetize. You can do everything right here. This can make you all the bands you want. All them bands you seen OT7 Kwani with and Leaf Ward and Chef G with. This right here can get them bands for you. Look at the biggest rat in fucking history. Made bands off this. 6'9". So if he can do it, y'all can do it. If y'all 100%. Sturdy and y'all honorable, how can y'all let a rat come and make millions of dollars if y'all sturdy and y'all real niggas and he did it and y'all can't do it?
100%.
Shout out to Philly, Philly guys for $1 million worth of game right there.
Shout out to Gilly and Wallow, $1 million worth of game. That's the town. You already fucking know.
We out.
And part my opinion. Fuck you talking about.
There we go. We out.